Babe, do you want to talk about The Exorcist? Yes? Okay. How's it going, YouTube? My name is Jonathan Martinez and I am a man of movies. I love film. I am passionate about the art of filmmaking, and I just want to talk about film with any and everybody that's willing to hear me out. So a couple days ago, I uploaded my top 10 films of 2019, and the video did go a little bit longer than I was expecting it to go. All in all, what I want to do with my channel, the ultimate goal of my channel is to review the year in film. Unfortunately, I have not seen any movies this year yet. So with that being said, I'm going to start something new, something that a lot of people have done before, but just so I'm not here without any content, I want to review movies from the past that maybe I have seen or maybe I haven't seen. Ultimately, I want it to be a trip down memory lane for some people, so as time goes on and maybe I miss a movie or two in 2020, we can all look back on some films that paved the way. And the first movie that I want to get to and talk about is a film that is regarded amongst movie fans as one of, if not the scariest film ever made, and that is So the story of The Exorcist is about this 12-year-old girl named Regan who throughout the film slowly becomes possessed by this very powerful demonic entity that forces her and the ones closest to her to seek out help, ultimately in the form of a priest. I saw this film for the first time a couple of days ago, and not only did it exceed my expectations, but it shook me by how truly grounded and complex the plot was. I always thought when I was a kid that The Exorcist was this by-the-numbers horror film, just full of creepy imagery and jump scares, but I found myself at the mercy of a deep and very personal intertwining plot, and it shook me. You know, my favorite part of this movie is how it displays science and religion to be two parts of the same coin, because as the movie progresses, it's quite obvious that there are more mysterious forces at play than the doctors that are treating Regan are leading her and her family to believe. But it doesn't paint the science behind the doctor's reasonings to be arrogant or even ignorant. Instead, it shows it to be set on a very solid basis of psychological disorders. I mean, to the point where even I thought maybe it could have been just a mental issue. But it's not until the possession worsens that we see that psychological disorders don't do the things that we're seeing, and even the doctors have to test their luck and try to contact a Catholic priest for an exorcism. And I thought it was so cool how it did that, the themes of religion and science and mixed together, because though it's quite obvious what's happening in the movie, you can surely paint a case for another more logical reasoning if you want. But more than a possession, we are introduced to this intertwining plot line of Damien Karras, who is this Catholic psychiatrist, and how he is involved with Regan's possession. So Damien's been handed this very hard hand in life, and it's to the point where he's losing his faith. But then he gets introduced to Regan and her situation, and it causes him to take another look at his life, take another look at what he believes in truly. And it shows how conflicted he really is, because even in the movie, he even doubts Regan's possession as he looks at her and talks to her, and he sees that something is wrong, and he's just trying to make excuses in his head that it's not what he thinks it is. It shows how truly feeble the human condition is, that we can be taught something our whole life, and if we're just handed a hard hand in life, we're prone to just leave it to something more comfortable. It's truly mesmerizing how good some of the scenes are shot. to unsettle the audience to a point where you don't want to continue watching the movie. And the thing is that the movie doesn't have jump scares. It's not like you're gonna jump out of your seat whenever something comes on, whenever Reagan becomes possessed or whatnot, because that doesn't happen. But it unsettles you to the point where you just want to turn off the movie and not watch it anymore. And that's the best way I can explain the horror in this movie. It's unsettling. The imagery is the most powerful thing that this movie has going for it, and it works very well to make a person feel scared. And I love that about it because I feel like horror movies don't need to rely on jump scares. They need to rely on the personal aspects of the story combined with what you can show through the lenses. And The Exorcist is a perfect example of that. There are scenes here where nothing's jumping out and it's just the camera pointing at Reagan, or it's the camera pointing at something about to happen, and it's just the scariest thing because nothing jumps out. It's just there in your face. And it makes you feel claustrophobic because you're waiting for something to happen and it doesn't happen. And when there is something happening, it's happening in real time and it's not there to trick you. I appreciate the horror in this film, and I wish more horror movies would take some notes from classics like this and continue doing that. I'm tired of unnecessary jump scares. Root your stories in simplicity. Show real humans doing real human things. And when you just show these supernatural, mysterious things happening, it's scarier. Honestly, I can say that this is one of my favorite films now. I don't know how high up I would rank it, but I do know that the impact of such a realistic and personal, true horror movie that doesn't rely on cheap gimmicks, but on the tragedy of the situation mixed in with the abnormal, it leaves this film with very high praise from me. So on my scale, I've got to say that this film is up there as a must-watch film. Do yourself a favor. I know this is a very hard topic for people to talk about, to think about, especially to watch on the screen. But it's more than just what's portrayed in stills and photos and short clips. The movie's so much deeper. If you're interested, do yourself a favor. When you got time, go and watch this movie. Alright, so that's going to be it for today. I appreciate you taking the time and watching this video. Please, if you've seen the movie, let's talk about it down in the comments. If you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie and then let's talk about it in the comments. Please, let's discuss film. This is what I want to do here. More than review films, I want to discuss films with you. Thank you for watching. Till next time, movie fans.